And under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no, but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights, just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a, welcome to the rodeo.
Track how G go too fast. I don't need one no seatbelt. Bad look, got no upgrade. Now she got. How about the range on? Who is little baby? He going in. Man, these old rappers getting boring. They be taking shots, I ignore them. Send them to the hood while I'm touring. Making plays out of town like I'm Jordan. Need to go get your. Walk on my way, I'ma score it. Lamborghini, I don't want no Porsche. I'm on fire, don't touch me, I'm torching. Had the fish on my teeth, I went fortunate. Put the time on my back, I'm a horseman. One more year, I'ma make it a Forbes. They load me in the bay like he 40. I be seen inside of the Moreland. Ain't no strings attached, keeping it cordless. She keep calling, but I keep ignoring it. Ain't no stopping, I'm keeping it foreign it. Man, they can't stop me, I'm going it. Man, they can't stop me, I'm going it. Every time I'm gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. Every time I'm gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. I spent the whole M on some clothes. Got up on this, I sold out the show. Gonna like a pot on the stove. Yellow AP on all of my. I like when that white on the toes. Picture me riding around in that rose. I put some ice on my wrist, it was swole. Then I got kinda with you. All of these my body, I got pissed. Somebody keep checking my pose. Walking in club with no warning, take care of the money. They swing on the. Water on me like the sunny, I shine when it's sunny, this platinum and rose. Gonna out the street when I go to DC, I'ma see the mo. Every time I'm gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Oakland Raiders. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage. So
here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 27. From the gun, Jackson. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Well, when you think of these two teams, two franchises, Baltimore and Oakland, Charles, what comes to mind?
Well, the ghost to the post in the late 1970s, but remember, that was the Baltimore Colts, who are now in Indianapolis. These are the Ravens who came from Cleveland and formerly were the Browns.
They also have some history, though. The Ravens, between these two teams, won an AFC championship game in 2001. Also beat a Derek Carless Raiders 30-17 in Oakland a year ago. A first carry now for Kenneth Dixon. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you can see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Lucky 56.
On third down, Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got a first and 10 at the 11. On the give, this is Dixon. That is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Kenneth Dixon, his second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their own 22. Carr now to throw. And his first pass is incomplete. Cooper was the target there, and it's second down. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Carr again here on second and 10. Able to get away. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Tyus Bowser in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Throwing now is Carr. Going deep here for Bryant. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. First carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Terrell Suggs in on the tackle.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Snap comes at one, and it's Carr. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here's Jackson to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On second down, it's Dixon. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. That second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
They go play action with Jackson. Going for the deep ball. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On second down, here's Carr. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Cooper's first catch, and good for a 1st down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about a season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Here's Carr to throw. Connects it to Roberts, right side. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the play. On first, here's Washington. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Carr to throw on 2nd down. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Quick slant there gets him the first down. 6 yards on the play. On 1st and goal, Washington. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Second and goal from the 1. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
The ball down at the 1 as they come up after the penalty on another 2nd and goal. They come up in an offset eye. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. Spinning past him. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, A 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now Jackson on second down. Over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. He got 29 yards that time. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Lucky 56.
Now a handoff for Dixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Marcus Gilchrist there to bring him down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
No. Check. Patriot.
Jackson from the shotgun. And he is caught. It's Perriman. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Rashad Perriman with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens are in for 6. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with Washington. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr. And they're waving pressure too much. Down he goes. Terrell Suggs in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We're back to Baltimore after this. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
7:34.
From the gun, it's Carr. Roberts complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
24.
Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Tyus Bowser in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Go Chiefs.
Shotgun now for Carr. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. The Jets are out to the early lead, and we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10.
Hang on now. 3-19. 3-19.
The drive begins with a run by Dixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90! Hot!
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Here's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
Gun! 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 All right, here we go.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Jackson going to throw again. Over the middle here to Brown. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Switzer now to return. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Terrell Suggs in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
6-18. Down. 280. Right down. Like 6-18.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
29.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get happy if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, Let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Over! Kill. Turn it up.
Right back to Dixon. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They go play action here on first down. He's going to look deep for Perriman. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the Raiders have got him. Bruce Irvin in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week, and this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back, and they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They go with Washington to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Carr. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. A very solid gain of 27.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throwing on 1st down as Carr stays up, and he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. From the gun, Carr. Roberts with it over the middle. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing his car on third down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll start the drive with Dixon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On second down, here's Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The Ravens on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun, Jackson. And able to find John Brown. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. A good pickup there, a 22. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment to shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19. Gun.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Steps away. And he's got some space here. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
Leopard. Got you now, Barney. Gun. All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Dixon. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Jackson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. He's at the 30, 20. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. This fielded at the 2. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Now, Barney, Barney. Over. Hot.
On 1st down, they go with Dixon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5.
Detroit! No. Check. Patriot!
Now it's Jackson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd down, Jackson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. And the safety, Carl Joseph, there to knock that one away.
When I checked in with my trusted spies about Carl Joseph and how he improved while he was at West Virginia, they kept coming back to, you knew he was a tackler, you knew he was a hitter, but my goodness, his coverage ability just got better and better, and we just saw a great example of that. There he was in man coverage, knocking a pass away.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Detroit! Now let's go! Green!
Operating from the gun. Jackson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Out left side here to Bryant. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Carr now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Carr gives it off to Washington. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 36 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. To throw, it's Carr. They dump it off to Lynch. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
24.
From the gun, it's Carr. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll run with Lynch, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now Carr. Dancing to his left. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. To throw is Carr. Flush to his right. That escapes him, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball, so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
Down!
And they take a knee. On 2nd and goal, standing alone in the backfield is Williams. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the 4th quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Hey, got three down. Good set, 180. Oh, here we go.
Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing.
And you know you primed the pump all week, and you're like, we can do this in this room, and then you go